Hello friends and welcome to 20 tips for beginners in Wartales. This is a follow-on video from our previous 5-minute preview. The tips are a combination of my own experiences combined with my community's lessons we have learned on our playthroughs. Without further ado, we will dive in. Number 1. Resist the urge to add new party members too quickly. You don't want to go crazy in the first area, you want to keep it to a maximum of 4 to 6. The game has scalable difficulty and is based around how many party members you have. This does include wild beasts that are in your party, so for example wolves and boars if you can capture them. Which brings us to point number 2. Putting wolves and boars in your party sounds great, but largely through our experiences, it's more or less a waste of time at this point. They are largely there just to soak up damage, and they don't do a lot of damage themselves. I would suggest if you can get a high level being, it might be worth it for the bleed effects, but otherwise you don't want more than 1 or 2 of those. Number 3. There is really nothing more important in this game than good armour and good weapons, the ability to put out damage. Upgrading them should be your priority number 1 from the get-go. Items can be found post-battle from loot from the enemies you've slain, but mostly will need to be crafted in the blacksmith. You want to make this a priority. Good gear can overcome numbers and level deficiency. Number 4. You should always avoid taking battles with enemies over your level. If you equip yourselves appropriately, you probably can win, but it's going to hurt. Number 5. Never sell your resources unless you're desperate for money. You need them for crafting. You should be making your money by doing contracts at the tavern, selling all the gems and trinkets you are given and find along your way, and selling gear you don't need or you can no longer use. Number 6. If at any point after a battle you're close to a town, go in there, heal, repair there. Go in and make use of the facilities. Healing and repairing at a town cost you crowns, and it actually works out to be cheaper than the money you would spend on tools and medicine. Number 7. AP or action points is kind of like armour and weapons, in that they are absolutely vital to your success. Never go into battle without action points to do special attacks. It is your biggest advantage over your enemy. With enough AP you can do 3 to 4 attacks per mercenary. The enemy does not have special attacks at this time. Use this to your advantage. Never go into a battle with 0 AP if you can avoid it. Number 8. Professions are important, especially cooking, mining and blacksmithing. Mining is the best and most efficient way to get iron ore. Virtually no one sells it, and you need it for blacksmithing. Cooking can turn a piece of wolf meat that feeds 2 hunger into wolf sausage that feeds 3. And when you start getting the later game recipes, it can feed up to 7 hunger. Plus, who doesn't love sausage? Number 9. Battle order is something you should think over. Here is a scenario. You have 2 characters going first, and then the enemy has 2 characters. An archer and a ranger. A good strategy is to use your first move to have your tank engage the ranger, thus minusing the damage he can do, and then have one of your rangers engage the archer. Since the archer is engaged, he can only attack the character he is engaged with, and he has to punch them, dealing minimal damage. Even on a squishy character it is likely to do a maximum of 5 damage. You have effectively minimised the damage the enemy could do with their first 2 characters. It doesn't sound like much, but in later fights it can be the difference between victory and defeat. Number 10. 2 things to never do if you can help it. Firstly, flee a battle. It will decimate your team. And never disengage an enemy. There are some skills that allow you to disengage, just never use the disengage skill. It allows the enemy an attack of opportunity, which is basically a free attack. Number 11. Watch your happiness. It only takes a -1 happiness for one of your characters to leave. It is a low possibility, but it's still a possibility. Always have 4 characters around the campfire. Sleep and eat before fatigue reaches 0, and there are 2 knowledge perks that can increase happiness. Every time you take on a new recruit, your happiness drops by 1. In a pinch you can give them alcohol in camp, but don't make it a habit or one of your characters will become an alcoholic. Afterwards, if you do camp and don't give them alcohol, your happiness nosedives and the alcoholic will probably leave. Number 12. If you aren't saving influence to recruit a new character, use it to negotiate more money for contracts. You don't start with this ability, but it becomes available fairly quickly. Number 13 is a bit of a spoiler, so if you're in the first area I would skip over this one. Pause for effect. For rat infestations, you want to kill the broodmother first. Nothing else matters. Once she's dropped, the battle is over. Finito. Number 14. To actually utilise the tent, you have to move characters around it like you do the campfire. You also want to cycle the characters that are using the tent as it will boost their action points, so you likely want your characters with the most special moves in the tent. Number 15. You actually can leave the starting area before you complete the storyline, but it will cost you 200 crowns as a toll. Number 16. If you're constantly becoming over encumbered, consider buying another pony rather than selling or dropping things. Late game, you're going to want to have about 8 days worth of food. You will need at least 2 ponies for that. Number 17. There are actually 2 types of AP, overall AP and single battle AP. They are a significantly different colour of gold. Single battle AP can only be used in the current battle, so there's no use in saving it. Overall AP, you might consider saving for the next battle. If you aren't sure which kind of AP you have, scroll over it. A tooltip will appear and tell you which kind you have. Number 18. Prioritise getting the run feature in the knowledge tree. It massively helps your movement times and can help you get out of a pickle. Number 19. Avoid the glowing white fog at night until the members of your party are at least a level 4. But honestly, at all times just avoid it. It is a complete and utter death sentence. Number 20. Camp on and around the road. It's simply safer. When you're on the road, you're much less likely to be attacked by passing parties, and you never know what trading friends might be awaiting you as you come out. Thank you folks for listening to me rhyme off this list. I hope it can help even a little with your playthroughs. If there are any obvious tips you think are missing and need to be included, please let me know in the comments. I'd also like to take the opportunity to thank 2 community members that have helped me in the making of this video, primarily BQ the Cadet and Blind Ged. I'm sure this list could be updated once the game has had a few patches and things have chopped and changed, but at the time of this video's release, I feel like these are 20 of the most helpful tips we have. If you would like to see and hear more of my voice, you can check me out on www.twitch.tv/TheRandolfski, and if you would like to join our community further, there's a link to the Discord below. If you are looking to buy Wartales, it could be worth checking out the link below and CD keys. I am affiliated with them, and if you do buy through my link, you will help support the channel indirectly, which is always appreciated. There's not much else to say at this point other than please enjoy the video and the game, take care of yourselves, and we will speak soon.